So I just wanted to thank Chuck Brady. This is one of our favorite clients in Pasco County, and they're just north of Tampa Bay. But we've been working with Chuck for probably a year and a half now or so, and he's agreed to come on the call, hopefully because our program's doing something right. So Chuck, just to get us started here, what got you into appliance repair? Give us just a brief little intro into how you got here.
Well, my background was corporate America with a retail drugstore chain, and then after that was sold and broken apart, I did some other things in the healthcare industry for a while, and it just seemed like one ran into a short-term deal after another, and my wife and I decided we wanted to try something that we could control and build and have for the future. So I was contacted by the Dwyer Group and went through their process, and we opened up February of last year, so we're getting ready to hit our 2-year anniversary, and it's been a building process, but we've learned a lot in that process.
Absolutely. So what was one of the biggest challenges with your marketing prior to working with us, Chuck?
Well, the biggest challenge we had is that everything else that was offered to us as far as pay-per-click and so forth was a cookie-cutter approach that was not specific to this industry. It was specific to just basic pay-per-click, and you never knew if you were hiring a firm that was also employed by a competitor in your area. And there was very little reporting and very little ways to track what the success of the program was or not, And so we tried 2 different ones in the first 6 months. In the first 6 months, we tried 2 different ones, one for 4 months and one for about 3, and it just didn't generate calls. So found out about Justin and Appliance Repair Marketing, and heard some good things. It talked to some other people in Mr. Appliance that had utilized his services, and we went that route, and it's made a significant difference. I mean, when you're brand new and you're competing in a pretty aggressively competitive territory, it's important to get out there, and we found that the internet customer is our customer, and this is not a yellow page business for us, the kind of service we provide.
Yeah, well, that's a great answer, Chuck, and I appreciate that because you touched on 2 of the biggest things that make us unique, and I'm grateful that we were able to add value to what you guys are doing. So what was the biggest problem? If we had to boil it down to one thing, what was the biggest problem that we helped solve for you?
Well, I think the biggest problem is that I had no ways of tuning my lead generation based on the type of customer appliance I was looking for, number one. Number 2 was it was a cumbersome process to try to match a lead with a customer. And the process with appliance repair marketing, where you instantaneously get an email with a recording of the call and the phone number, you can very quickly determine if that was a lead.
Just in closing here, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Chuck. I appreciate you carving out a space for us today. If there was somebody that was on the fence and they've heard of us, they've thought about it, maybe they're debating right now whether they should work with us or not, what would you tell that person?
What you're spending for AdWords, what appliance repair marketing's piece of it is. You get instantaneous responses of where the call came from, and that's the important part.
Gotcha. All right, Chuck. Well, I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much for being with us. And just to let you know, I appreciate you as a client. I appreciate what you brought to the table. And you've been very generous with, referring other Mr. Appliances to us. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. And I do appreciate the fact that you took on what is probably a challenging territory based on the metropolitan mix of this, but it has worked.
We're doing the best we can.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Chuck.